everybody. Thanks for sticking around. Now, what I love about Joe, when we have Joe on the show, aside from the fact that all of that rhymes, is that he's not a protest candidate. He's not a one-issue guy. He's a guy that has a grasp on all the positions that that the voters of the 3rd District here in Iowa are interested in, and has opinions about his opponents. And this is the last time we had you on for the last primary, what the positions they take and why those may be good or bad or indifferent to the citizens of the 3rd District. So, Joe, what's something else about David Young that you got a problem with, aside from sort of his wishy-washiness on this LGBT thing?
Well, he first voted for John Boehner.
That
was number one. That got everybody fired up, and he said he wasn't going to drink the Potomac water, but he did. And John Boehner was our problem. He never brought anything to the table to Obama, and Obama didn't have to do anything but get all the goodies. And Boehner was our problem, and he was ousted by our party, and so now Ryan is in there. And so that was the one of many. But then he wants to raise the minimum wage. Well, that's, I'm a retired small business owner. I don't feel like the federal government should mandate $10, $15 an hour. Ask California how's that working. It doesn't. They're going to kiosk and McDonald's and many places. It'll kill small businesses. Let the market take care of itself. Let the market. He wanted to raise the gas tax. Now, why? And so that's not an issue that we want. That hurts the small people, and so
the federal gas tax.
Yeah, of course. But that's not. Listen. There's, all these things came out after he won in the runoff, and of course he didn't know I was going to run or anybody run against. Nobody ever gets primaried. And so, in turn, that's a big problem for myself. And then I would have not voted for Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan is for complete amnesty. David Young said people illegally here in this country said we have a right to citizenship. I disagree with that. I said we have 1 million people waiting to get in here legally. The people that are in here illegally, we are a country of laws. They have to go to the end of the line and fill out their papers and do just like everybody else. We have many illegals overstaying their visas. We have to find out where they're at. They go to the end of the line. If they want to stay in this country, they have to stay in our country legally. We are in a crisis. ISIS is here in this country. They're in every state. They're in every state. It's just a matter of time that they will do some more damage in our country, because they have done it already. And so in turn, I think his decisions, many decisions, I would have voted differently. Now, hopefully that makes a difference when people go to the polls come next week, a week from today. David Young has been around the district. He's going around there and going all over, and he's supposed to do that. He's supposed to greet the people, but he doesn't talk about how he's voted, because because a lot of people know that he hasn't voted the way a Republican would have voted. He has sided with the Democrats, and he is the voice of a Democrat. And so I'm sorry, it's not acceptable for me.
Are there some of these issues like minimum wage or raising the gas tax that don't go necessarily to unless you, and maybe you take issue with this characterization, core conservative principles, that there's value in a David Young working with Democrats to achieve legislation that can work for all people in 3rd District?
Well, it's okay if you don't compromise your values. So what has happened in the last 8 years, we've compromised our values, conservatives have, and Republicans, and they've gotten all the goodies. This is why we're in a crisis in our country. That's why we have no jobs here. This is why the federal, our 35% corporate taxes, and the government and our businesses have gone overseas. Politicians have made it easy for the Democrats to continue on with their way of life. They want socialism in this country. In fact, we have candidates that are socialists in the Democratic Party right now that are running for president. This is not what our country is all about. Our country is about hard work and is capitalism. And if you work hard, you can make a good living to take care of your family. And you got to let the federal government get out of the way. And that's where I come in. The people will have a voice. They will have a strong voice. I will not waver. I will not sell my soul to the lobbyist and or the liberals, because it's not up for sale. It's not up for sale. I'm a man of honor. I'm honorable, and I tell the truth because you have my word. And that's all the people of House District 3 want. Someone that's honorable to go to Washington and tell the truth. And that's what anybody that goes to office, that's what they should do. But it just so happens that's not what's happening. We're $19 trillion in the hole. We got there some way, somehow. It's just not just happened overnight. So let's tackle these big issues so that our government and our country can be successful and be the shining star on the hill and be prosperous, and so that people can go home and be safe in their homes.
So what I'm hearing you say, Joe, is David Young flip-flops according to how the wind blows.
Yes,
is
sir.
That fairly accurate?
Absolutely.
And then the other thing that you have mentioned is that because I will tell you, when he was running in the general election, he touted his conservative values right and left. During the primary campaign, he tried as best he could to be as conservative as he could. And the problem is he got in there and he's voting against fiscal conservatism. He does that a lot. And from what Joe has said, he's voting against social and fiscal conservatism. And I think, is that fairly accurate?
Absolutely, Pat.
Yeah, so that irritates those of us on the right. I would like, what I want to do, because I want to shift gears here. I want to get away from obviously we have to talk about David Young. We did that. But here in the next segment or two, what I would like to do is start focusing on Joe and how he campaigns a little bit differently than other people. One of the things I was rather jealous of is the signage that Joe got. He's got some of the best high visibility signs in Polk County. He's got good high visibility signs in Dallas County. Now, keep in mind, I don't make a habit of driving through the 3rd congressional district, on a weekly basis. But from those two things, I'm thinking Joe has a kind of a unique way of campaigning. And we will get to that right after this break. We want to thank everybody who's tuning in, because without you, we couldn't do what we do. We want to thank all of our sponsors today. Des Moines Anesthesia at 515-574-6442. Halo Capital, Lubinas Law Firm, and Bertrosian Associates. We all want to thank all of our listeners, including my dad, who apparently has gotten the strength up to sit up and watch. So that's good news for me. We'll be back after this break, everybody, with Joe Grandanette.